Hello and welcome back to the South King County Real Estate Update. My name is Sarah Eggleston. I'm with the Stone Egg Realty team, John L. Scott, and I am really excited to jump into this. I got some exciting things to share about mortgage rates and, interesting things to share about mortgage rates and building in the area. So we'll go ahead and jump right on into it. Okay. Perfect. So I think you can see my screen here. So as I said before, this is the South King County Real Estate Update for March 19th. And I just want to say thank you to all those that attended my home seller strategy session this last Saturday. I am very pleased with how it went. I have it recorded and I'm planning on cutting it down into like little pieces for anybody who wasn't able to attend. So be on the lookout for those. And if you are buying sometime in 2021 or shortly thereafter, or even if you just want to do a little information gathering for the future, in case the market you're buying in is a very strong seller's market like the one we're in right now, I have my buyer bootcamp coming up on Saturday, the 27th, so a couple weekends from now. So what happened this week? So this week, I had some clients that I've been working with for quite a while, but they're very specific about what they want. And just with the low inventory on the market, it's been really difficult to find, but we found one this past week to go check out that might work out. I went and saw that on Tuesday, and it had come on the market the day before. I was in touch with my clients, reached out to me as soon as they got the listing email. So it had been only on the market for about 4 hours when I initially talked to them. So it shows that they understand the need for speed when you're really interested in a home. So we went out, checked it out. It was great. Might not be the perfect fit, but their listing agent said they were very firm on reviewing offers on Monday. They wanted to give everybody a chance, go through the open houses and see what offers they got after everyone had a chance to kind of check it out. So went out there, looked at it. Even though she was very specific about no offer, we're not going to look at offers until Monday. She had 2 people that were trying to turn offers in early with an early expiration date, and she's like, no, we have a time set to review them on Monday. So I know it's going to be a very hot listing. My clients haven't decided whether they are going to actually move forward with it or not yet, but I know that it was pretty booked up on the showings for the first few days, and with 3 open houses yet to come. So I'm very excited to see what this house goes for. So and back into my screen share. And so also this week, Inslee had announced last week that Monday, March 22nd, we would be moving into phase 3 as a state for the pandemic restrictions. And for real estate, that means that now in the office, we can have up to 50% capacity. That's a change from the 25% capacity that was phase 2. And for in-person activities at the property, there can be 10 people on site plus the broker. So this is open houses, showings, inspections, any of that, no more than 10 people on property plus the broker. And that is a change from 5 people plus the broker. And so Inslee announced also as part of that the eviction moratorium was going to be extended to June 30th. So there's a few more months added on to the eviction moratorium. That could be great news for somebody that's concerned about their housing situation at the moment. The eviction moratorium's been in place for about a year. And there is money coming from the federal government to help both homeowners that are behind on their mortgage and renters who are behind on their rent. And part of the proclamation yesterday, there was a utility shutoff restriction and debt garnishment restriction as well added to that. But there's $1.9 trillion coming from the federal stimulus bill, or the 1.9 trillion federal stimulus bill. Of that, we will get about 404 million for rental assistance and about 50 million for homeowners behind on their mortgages here in Washington state. But it could take a while for Washingtonians to see that money because it's got to come from the federal government, trickle to the state, and then the state has to figure out how they're going to actually distribute it among Washington residents. And so Washington state to get an estimated 454 million for housing relief, but so this, I jumped into the next article. So 1.9 trillion federal stimulus bill is coming. 454 million for housing relief is coming to Washington. So hopefully we can smooth out that transition so that it speeds up getting to the people that actually need it. But I know that government bureaucracy can take a while to decide the proper way to go about things. And so as of now, there's about 9.6% of renters in Washington that are behind on their rent, and 6.5% of those paying mortgages are also behind. Granted, we have never seen this many homeowners in our nation without a mortgage. So you have to take these numbers into consideration. It's not 6.5 of homes that are behind on their mortgage. It's 6.5 of those that still have a mortgage are behind. And if you are a homeowner that's behind on your mortgage payments or close to getting there, you can visit homeowner-wa.org or call the number on the screen to find out about assistance programs that might be available to you. And so this one article came out a couple days ago. The U.S. housing construction tumbled 10.3% in February. So this is not great news. We had a huge increase in new construction homes last year that were being completed. The demand for new homes has just completely skyrocketed in the last year. So the low interest rates have definitely been driving this, and a lot of people want to get out of their smaller units and into a single family home. So that is another thing that's driving this as well. And I did think that this was pretty shocking, actually. I mean, I knew construction costs had come up quite a bit, especially lumber, but Oxford Economics reports that lumber has tripled since last April. So lumber is a pretty important ingredient in building a house. Most houses have some lumber in them. So that is definitely affecting the cost of home building right now. And the other thing is there's just not a lot of plots available. All the great plots have been bought up, and now they're we're down to a lot of raw land that trees need to be removed, land may need to be leveled. It's just not ready to accept a house yet. And I was just pretty shocked that the lumber prices had tripled in less than a year. So we can probably expect new construction homes to continue to go up in price just because of the cost of building. And then I brought up this chart last week, this graph last week, and this shows building the amount of single family homes completed since 1970. And you can see we went way above the average in leading up to 2008. And then we have just essentially stopped building since then. And we're just gradually making our way back up towards what we need. But we've just been so far below the average number of homes built per year for so long below there's a huge deficit. We just need more homes. Yet there's not the land that's ready to put them on, and the construction costs have just skyrocketed. So it'll be interesting to see what this chart looks like going forward. And I showed this one last week as well, but this is year-over-year housing inventory. And you can see in Washington, we're down 53.5%, which is greater than the national average of 48.7%, but nationally 48.7% less inventory. It's just, that's a really hard number to wrap your head around. If you think about it, there's just nothing on the market. So I'll jump right into my market stat minute for King County. We had 877 new listings come to the market. So we are seeing an increase of those new listings coming to the market, and we have since the end of December. And new listings pended are 1,094, and listings sold in the past 7 days is 693. And if we look at showings for North America, you can see we are increasing our showing activity, as we would expect this time of year as the weather gets better and we get closer to the end of school. Most people would choose to move in the summer because of the weather and vacations from school, or easier to take work vacations for some. But we definitely see way more transactions in the spring and summer than in the winter. So this is kind of what we'd expect to see this time of year. Now, bringing it back to mortgage rates, last week, we were at 3.05% for the weekly average. This week, we're up just slightly at 3.09. But if you look at here, it's this is from yesterday, and it went up to 3.45%. And I know that these numbers are coming from similar places. So I've been doing some research over the past couple of weeks. I know that the weekly mortgage rate that we get here from the Seattle Times is a weekly average. But I did think that this was very interesting. Over time, reporters have found it easy to simply cover mortgage rates once a week, and that's worked well for just about everyone, except for when there are huge discrepancies throughout the week. If there's lots of fluctuation up and down, a weekly average rate is going to be a little irrelevant. But the surveys are sent out on Monday and are accepted through Wednesday. So the majority of people, when they get these surveys, More lenders, when they get them, they'll just respond right away. So a lot of times we're comparing a Monday rate versus a Monday rate. Then the rate information comes out on Thursday. I come here live on Friday and talk about the weekly rate, and we're talking about the average rate on Monday. And that can be very, very off. So you can see that we have fluctuated back up quite significantly and in recent weeks, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I know mortgage rates were expected to go up throughout the year, but the rate at which they're rising is surprising me a little bit. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I love talking about real estate, so I'm happy to chat with you about what's happening in the real estate market in your specific area, or answer any questions that you may have regarding mortgage rates or the real estate market in general. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Sarah Eggleston with the Stone Egg Realty team at John L. Scott. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back here again next Friday at 3 p.m. And I hope you have a fabulous week. See you next time.